Do not buy The Last of Us Part 1 Remake on PC or Steam Deck because it's actually completely broken. Even if you play this game on low settings, it's completely crashing, it has terrible optimization, and in general, it doesn't quite look right, but let's talk about that. What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I bought this trying to go into it with a very open mind. I have completely beat the heck out of the original Last of Us on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and I even platinumed it on the PlayStation 5 last year. So going into this port, I was actually incredibly excited, not just as a fan, but honestly because I'm rather new to PC gaming. I wanted to play this and see the mods and customization, and this does have a lot of graphical options. You can do everything from mess with the resolution, you can change all sorts of stuff like the draw distance, texture quality, water reflection amount, animation levels, and a million other tiny technical choices to really optimize your experience. The problem is, even after spending a lot of time in the menus trying to make this game run good, it runs terrible. Now, this is not just a me problem. The game right now is getting completely bombed on Steam because not only is the game running incredibly bad, especially frame rate wise, but it's actually hard crashing constantly. Just trying to play this, it is, I'm blown away. I have never seen a PC game run this bad ever. And it seems like the reason for that is the developer Iron Galaxy. This is a very cheap porting house. They're basically the people where you're trying to take a game and put it onto Steam for the cheapest amount possible. These are the people for that. Now, this is part of what's so confusing about this is that honestly, well, freaking Sony has their own porting studio. Nixxes. They bought one of the best people at PC ports to do their work, and I guess they're working on other projects. Now, I want to talk about this in depth, but first and foremost, let's just say the fact that I do have at least a decent PC. It's not a supercomputer, but I do have 32 gigs of RAM, I've got a decent processor, and I do have an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Super. Now, I do have to read the technical stuff off my screen because, as I mentioned, I'm very new to PC gaming, and stuff like this really kind of turns me off. I mean, I was actually excited. Now, it seems like the major problem is that this game absorbs a ton of VRAM. Even if you turn the graphical fidelity all the way down to bare minimum, and it looks honestly quite bad, it still gets incredibly choppy. Graphics, resolution, the game itself just looks incredibly bad even if you manage to get it going. So I decided to experiment and actually turn the frame rate down to about 30 frames a second and turn up visual detail, and the game just keeps crashing. Low graphics, the game still crashes. There's also some completely insane stuff. The first time you turn this game on, it takes an hour to unpack shaders. Now, I spent an hour doing that on the Steam Deck and an hour doing that on PC, and basically that means like prepping it so that it will visually look appropriate, and then once the shaders are in, there is still some ridiculous load times. I ran into a 2-minute load screen. How? I have a solid state. This is not like my computer completely sucks. I do not understand why it would take so long to boot up. I think I have heard that certain games try and like fully load pretty much huge chunks of the entire environment. That way, while you're playing through it, you'll never encounter another load screen. But I encountered load screens in the middle of scenes. Like, this is pretty much a cutscene and a load screen popped up. How? This wasn't even in the original game. I am baffled by it. So I decided, all right, maybe this is just a PC problem. Let me go hard on Steam Deck. I mean, I'll admit this. I predominantly bought this to play it on the Steam Deck. I've been completely obsessed with my Steam Deck, like a lot of people who have this thing, and I was kind of curious because this does feel sort of like a PlayStation Portable or a PlayStation Vita. It does really seem like Sony is dead set on trying to make this thing like the PlayStation Vita 2, you know, a new way to get their games out there and portable. Even on handheld, it doesn't feel quite right. In general, the joysticks feel a bit funky for this aiming. A lot of times when I was trying to aim and shoot, stuff just felt a little bit weirdly floaty. And I'm not just saying that as a person who's slightly out of practice. I play a lot of Steam Deck games. I've played Last of Us a lot. I'm really going to have to go in here and bit by bit actually change the settings so that it's actually fine-tuned. It feels like they designed this to be purely mouse and keyboard, and then for whatever reason on PC, they just didn't flesh out the idea of actually getting it to play good. I played this with my PlayStation 5 controller on PC, and I also played it on my TV using the Steam Deck. So a lot of this is direct feed footage from the Steam Deck. I recorded it using the Steam Deck dock. Look at this. Look how bad that looks. Now, I'm more forgiving because this is Steam Deck footage, but even while recording this clip to give you some environmental background as to what this game looks like in its native state, the game froze. I've never, ever experienced my Steam Deck crashing ever before. How is this game just running so badly? Now, what else is kind of funny about this is that if you beat the game, there is customizable costumes. You can put different shirts on Ellie and customize her backpack and stuff like that. Now, I kind of dig that. That's something I enjoyed in The Last of Us Part 1 remake on PlayStation 5. They put in new shirts that you can play as here. So you can actually give her a Portal shirt, a Valve shirt, a freaking Left 4 Dead shirt. That's kind of nice, but the game just looks so bad. This needs several major update patches, like right now. They didn't give out any review codes. They didn't give anybody early access, and 99% of the time, that's a red flag. I guarantee you, Naughty Dog and Sony knew that this game was just not ready, and I guess they assumed somebody's going to get it to work. I mean, if you have an extremely high-end PC, like a $5,000 rig, you could probably play this on medium settings. Hopefully on high settings, but as it currently stands, it needs some heavy optimization. This game costs $60 on Steam, so at least it's not the full $70, but even at that minorly discounted rate, please wait. Vote with your wallet is incredibly important. I want this to be popular because I do like Naughty Dog. I do love The Last of Us. I'm excited for The Last of Us Factions Part 2 and all that, but this just needs a little bit more time in the oven. Wait. Already, I've seen this on the frickin' Steam bestseller list, so I guess people are lining up to buy it, but a lot of people are installing it and being immediately disappointed. Man, this sucks. I wanted to see this just come out a little bit better. Give it some time. Give it 3 or 4 months. Hopefully they'll have this completely fixed. But if you're trying to play this on Steam Deck, it's mostly playable. It's definitely more playable on Steam Deck than it is on PC, which is completely insane to even think about. But either way, definitely wait for a sale. As it stands, I don't think I could even finish this game in such a broken state, and this is one of my favorite games of all time. Sony, what the heck happened? Alright, well, these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts and a buyer beware. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Sorry if I sounded kind of angry. I'll be honest, I am very disappointed. I wanted this to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece because, it runs so good on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. I already saw somebody tweet me and say, oh, the game runs bad. Thankfully, there's a PlayStation 3 in your closet. That's a very sad but true statement. All right, well, time to get back to overheating my poor Steam Deck as I try and get this to work. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.